Talk to me, like, what are a couple of things that you used to think were like paramount to success that now is something you wouldn't touch with somebody else's 10-foot pole?
Yeah, so that's one thing is specifically, I remember working with, I was working with a bunch of small clients all at the same time. And I was working with about 17 different accounts at the same time. And I was constantly competing to get better ROAS. So every single day, I would micromanage my ads. I would be spending countless hours on looking, okay, this ad's doing good. Okay, turn this one off. Okay, now turn this one back on. Okay, this one was doing good 3 days ago. This one, and just going back and forth. And I'm like, okay, that's just a lot to manage all in one day, but I was able to do it mainly because I had my handy dandy notebook and I was writing everything down just to remember everything. I know, right? The notebooks. And what they would tell me is that, hey, we're looking for a specific ROAS. That would be literally a part of my onboarding call. And I remember working with a company called Silver Linings Herbs and Vitamins. It was vitamins and supplements specifically for horses, so horse feed. And their product was actually really good. And I said to myself, I said, if I had a horse, I'd really like this product because the labels are transparent. One thing that they had that was a huge benefit was the AOV was really high. It was about 125 to 175 AOV roughly, which was great. And we had built out a landing page for them on ClickFunnels and stuff. And so we were able to sell about we were going for 1 to 3 bottles every single sell. So sometimes the AOV would be even up to $200, which was absolutely phenomenal. And we were averaging every month 3x ROAS. And on month 4, I remember that they sent us a message and said, and remember, this client's paying us $500 a month. Okay, $500 a month. So that's really little. and they said, hey, we're done working with you guys. And I was flabbergasted, just absolutely. It was like a right hook straight from my blind spot. And I said, wait, what happened? They said to me, well, we can't afford your services anymore, plus running Facebook ads. They said it just, the Facebook ads aren't doing good enough. And I said, here are the screenshots right here. This is exactly what's happening. And we had built think about this, but also had built them on a landing page. We were optimizing that on a weekly basis as well. And I had to think to myself. So finally, one of my higher ups that I was working with during that time on that Facebook ad account, he entered into a call with them and I was able to listen. Well, what we noticed is that their overhead and their cost of goods sold was too big because it manufactured in-house. So that was causing like the cost of goods sold to be ridiculous, plus the amount of employees as well. And even that 3x ROAS month over month didn't make a difference in their business. So that's one thing that I really had to unlearn.
Yeah, the ROAS stuff, I tell people all the time, like, the trick to making it work isn't your ROAS, because your platform ROAS is basically nonsense. The number doesn't mean anything anyway. There's like this equation. There's like, I like to call like the golden equation of direct consumer. Really anything, but for the purpose of this conversation, golden equation of direct consumer, which is like your cost of goods plus your cost of per acquisition of a sale. Because remember, a sale is not a customer, right? Like having a customer is very different than making a sale. Those are two very functionally different things. The two of those added up, divided by the LTV of that offer, really lends you into volume and headroom. Like I've scaled brands where we got to a 3x, 4x. I had a brand, alcohol delivery company 2 years ago, and they had a Facebook rep running it, and he was stoked. He got it to 3.5x on like 600 a day. Fantastic. And they were making like 10, 15 grand profit a month. Awesome. They were happy. I came on board, and instead of looking at it that way, we looked at profit margin of each individual sale, that COGS plus CPA, parentheses, divided by LTV, and got it that way. So we understood we were making $22 on a sale. We got them up to $3,000 a day. So we were doing $50,000, $100,000 in profit a month at like a way larger spend. Although our ROAS looked terrible,
Right.
But it was because we started measuring business metrics that mattered. You know, we weren't concerned about CPMs and CPCs and click-through rates of an ad and trying to maximize the ROAS. I've maximized that ROAS so damn good the business damn near went out of business so many times. Because, oh yeah, great, you're making $10 for every dollar you spend, but we can only afford to spend $100 because we have no revenue. We have no volume. And that lack of context, man, I tell you, I think it's crushing people.